Welcome to Coruzant Technologies, home of the Digital Executive Podcast.
Welcome to the Digital Executive. Today's guest is Katy Wigdahl. Katy Wigdahl, who joined Speechmatic in 2019, initially started her career in finance as a trained accountant, previously working at Unilever and Transversal. As CEO of Speechmatic, she brings with her a wealth of experience in leading finance functions and improving the overall quality of data and decision-making. Her diverse skill set took her into a world of fast-growth technology where she consulted businesses of all sizes, supporting them on their growth and transformation plans. She is fascinated by culture, organizational, and transformational change, and is a hugely valuable addition to the Speechmatic leadership team as they embark on the next stage of expansion. Well, good afternoon, Katy. Welcome to the show.
Good afternoon. Hi, Brian.
Great to have you on the show, Katy. This is exciting and looking really forward to talking to you about this particular podcast because you're doing some pretty cool things. And so we're going to jump into the questions here. You've got quite the career in finance and in technology. You were a chief financial officer, but now you're the CEO of Speechmatic. Could you share with our audience the secret to your career growth and what inspires you?
Sure. I think the important thing about my career is I've always been really keen to take all the opportunities that were given to me and the need to feel comfortable outside one's comfort zone. I always think that actually you do your best in a role when you feel slightly, not so much out of your depth or an imposter, but actually where you're really challenged and have to really up your game to perform. I think looking across my career, it's, the importance of personal integrity, resilience, really having that hunger to learn, challenge status quo. And you mentioned I started as a CFO, but actually I trained as an accountant as really to be part of my toolkit. And as I've gone throughout my career, it's really been understanding how the importance of trust and creating a really strong team around me has been the most important part of that. And trust as part of the CFO, where you have to be open and honest about company's finances, and as the CEO, where actually set the tone and direction for the organization. If people don't trust me, I can't expect, myself to trust others. So actually, it's really important to create those bonds with employees and, be true to yourself.
Great. I appreciate you sharing that. And I love to hear everybody's story and how they transitioned through their career and grew that. So I appreciate the share on that, Katy. And Katy, as you know, we've all had to do this shift globally. The new normal is here, right? Could you share with us what you're doing to help your organization stay relevant in this economy?
Yeah, no, sure. I think it's been a really exciting time for the last year. Having a pandemic, no one would have thought it, and it's had a huge impact on the way we work, the way we interact with teams, and actually the way we ensure that we're all aligned with that shared value and everyone being on that journey. Speech has become more and more important as part of the toolkit to making that happen. And that's very much a global thing. So actually being part of the speech industry is really exciting. So the way that, it's powering, meetings, how the med tech, ed tech space has, been evolutionized, and the adoption of speech has actually been accelerated. We've recently done a report on the trends and predictions for the voice technology in 2021. And actually what we can see is actually it's becoming an important part of many businesses' tech stack. Now 68% of respondents are saying that the voice is actually becoming part of their strategy, and that's up about 18% from last year. And actually 60% report it's something they'll consider in the next 5 years. So what we're seeing is, whereas before it was something probably out in the long grass, it's now people realizing they've really got to adopt it quickly to adapt to the new norm.
Great. Thank you. Katy, this is a question that I like to ask as a technologist and on this platform. Are you leveraging any new or emerging technologies within your tech stack? Anything specific you might be able to share with our audience?
Yeah, I think one of the big challenges about voice and speech is actually how we make it inclusive and accessible. And actually at the moment, most of the speech industry is very much focused on American English. And this actually clearly has a real big impact for diversification and actually inclusiveness. So the way we've approached this is very much looking at this as a global problem. So what we've provided is these concepts of global English or global Spanish packs. And what that does is actually enables us to really close that accent gap. So the global English, it's got thousands of hours of speech from over 40 countries, tens of billions of words, and it supports all major English accents for speech-to-text transcription. This actually enables us, using our automatic linguists, for which we won a Queen's Award, the ability to ensure that we have really strong strong accuracy right across different accent groups, different dialects. And as I said, one of the big challenges for organisations is to ensure that inclusivity and diversification. So we're really proud of our approach to this problem.
That's awesome. I appreciate you looking at that at a broader perspective versus just, maybe one, larger or particular population. So thank you for sharing. And Katy, can you share something from your career experience that would be helpful for those looking to grow their career in either tech or leadership?
Sure. I think the importance for me is very much understanding that many skills are transferable across businesses. So, people are often frightened of the idea of going to technology like sector. But actually, fundamentally, it's all about having those core skills of, communication, collaboration, ability to work really well in teams, having creativity and real clarity of thought. And to me, if I look about what makes a difference between success or failure or true leadership or really feeling that you can have an impact on an organization, it's this idea of having radical empathy where you really understand what your customer wants, what you really understand how your employees are feeling. You actually get in their shoes and you walk a couple of miles and you see it from 360-degree angle. Because only then you can really take people with you and also deliver amazing things to your customers. I think the importance of really listening and having that curiosity and being comfortable with ambiguity, that to me is really important, because often people just want to be in a safe space, but actually where brilliant things happen and new ideas emerge is where actually you're in a space where you don't really know the answers. And it's only that you go into a different level of thought and really challenge the status quo and look for really exciting areas to explore. The other part I would say is really be strong and resilient and take that decision to make difficult decisions. You often, if you don't make those difficult decisions, you'll block progress. And actually, you need to get to that new door. You need to get to the other side. And you need to see that different parts of the business need different types of teams, different challenges. And you need to really be brave. The importance of really deep alignment is key. If you don't have alignment within a team, there will be actually conflict and tension. So actually, the ability to ensure that you raise very quickly if there is a lack of alignment, and you actually feel comfortable by challenging, and actually eventually you lean in and you commit, but you actually open people to actually raise a voice of concern and listen. Finally, it's about really building trust and creating vision for a team, and you take those people on the journey with you. You can be the most brilliant leader, you can be the most brilliant team player, but if you don't take people on that journey, you'll end up alone.
Great. Katy, I appreciate the share on that. I think that's very insightful, and I know someone in our global audience is going to take that to heart. So again, most appreciated. And Katy, it was a pleasure having you on today. I look forward to speaking with you real soon.
Many thanks, Pine, for your time today.
Bye for now.